Welcome to the Creative Me podcast, coming to you from Guernsey in the Channel Islands. Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Creative Me podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring Instagram stories. So earlier this month, Instagram introduced a new feature called stories. Stories are basically a series of snapshots from your day. You can share multiple photos and short videos, and they appear together as a slideshow. You can add text over the top and emoji, and you can also add your own doodles in different colours. Your story doesn't appear in your Instagram feed, and it disappears after 24 hours. You can see stories from the people that you follow in the bar above your feed. When your people have posted something new, you're going to see a colourful ring around their profile photograph. Tap on their profile photo and you'll see their story. There aren't any public comments or likes on Instagram stories, but what you can do is message the person directly to comment on their Instagram story, and that message will appear in their inbox within Instagram. Your stories follow your account's privacy settings, although it is possible to hide stories from certain people that follow you if you want to do that. It sounds an awful lot like Snapchat, doesn't it? Well, it is, but there are some key differences. First, I've been thinking about the purpose of each platform and the resulting demographic attracted by each. Instagram users tend to share their best photos. Their feeds are carefully curated, especially if they're using Instagram as part of their social media marketing plan. Snapchat, however, is instant and unpolished. There's no permanent feed. Everything's temporary and a little bit goofy. You have the option of adding Snapchat lenses to your snaps. For those of you that aren't in the know, this means you can do things like turn your face into a dog's face, sticking its tongue out, and I think there's also a rainbow vomit option. As such, Snapchat seems to attract a younger age demographic. That's not to say, of course, that us 30-somethings plus aren't goofy. We're just old enough to want to save our goofiness for a more select audience. I tried Snapchat and found it fun, but not intuitive. Joe from the Shiny Bees podcast had to teach me how to use it. I'm pretty tech savvy, but I just couldn't wrap my head around Snapchat. Apparently, teenagers intuitively know what to do. Instagram stories do have a text overlay and drawing option, but that's it. There's no lenses available. And that suggests to me that they know their audience, they know their demographic very well. Whilst I am an Instagram girl at heart, I'll be honest, sometimes I get a bit sick of seeing everyone's perfect lives depicted there. I've been known to unfollow Instagram feeds that are simply too perfect. A while back, I dabbled in Instagram flat lays. Heck, I even photographed some peonies. And I own 2 pairs of Instagram scissors. You know what I'm talking about. But it felt a bit fake. I do understand the need to have a curated Instagram feed, particularly if it's part of your marketing mix. But I also want to get to know the person behind the Instagram feed. And sometimes that's difficult. I did find it a lot easier to populate my Instagram feed when I was knee-deep in surface pattern design. I just shared all the pretty things and, it didn't feel fake at all. Lately, my feed has been very book and podcast focused. I think perhaps the transition in my business has left me a little bit unsure about my Instagram identity. So if you're following me, hopefully you're interested in what I'm doing and it works for you. But I think I'm in a bit of a transition phase, so hopefully you'll bear with me. And, ultimately, if people don't like my feed, they'll unfollow. And I know that means it doesn't mean they don't like me anymore. We've got to stop taking it personally, haven't we? If you get unfollowed, it's totally fine. It's just that person's not into what you're posting, and that's okay. Putting a business hat on, I do realise it's important to curate what you share on social media and focus on things that your prospective customers want to see. But I am torn. I want my feed to be interesting, attractive, and also about me, but that's where stories can come in handy. They allow a glimpse behind the scenes, the more human side of an Instagram feed. And of course, then there's also exposure. The main reason why I've forgotten to use Snapchat for the past month and have been using Instagram stories is exposure. I've already got a decent following on Instagram. So every story I share has the chance of being seen by lots of people. And let's face it, when you share stuff, you want it to be seen. I've not exactly been proactive in developing my Snapchat following. In fact, I just had a look on my phone to see if I could work out how many followers that I've got, and I haven't got a clue. So, case in point. I do think it's important if you use social media to promote your art or your business that you experiment with different social media platforms. Never put all of your eggs in one basket. However, it does feel like an awful lot of hard work to grow your following on Snapchat. It's not something that seems easy. Instagram stories, just like Instagram posts, are public by default, and that simply isn't how Snapchat works. So what's the plan? I'll be honest, I'm unlikely to be putting the effort into Snapchat now. I don't have the time or the inclination to work on growing a following. So Instagram is going to be my creative visual social media platform of choice. I'm going to continue working on my new presence, my new sort of feel for my Instagram feed to reflect my shifted business focus. And I'm going to use stories to share real life behind the scenes moments. I'm also going to try and talk to the camera more. I'm very aware that at some point I want to be offering online courses, and I'm going to have to talk to the camera and get more relaxed about that. I'm fine doing audio. I love audio, but there's something about video that makes me a bit scared. So I'm going to practice that too. Incidentally, if this sounds awfully big-headed, but if you are missing the arty stuff that I used to post on my Instagram feed, I was posting it to my current feed, which is martineeellis. I've actually set up a separate Instagram account for my artwork, and I'm in the process of posting all of my previous stuff there at the moment. So if you're interested in that, you can find my arty stuff under the username martineart. So that's martineeart. My main Instagram feed, the one where I really interact and share stories, will always be martineeellis. I don't intend to share any stories at this stage on martineart. So what about you? I'd be really interested to know whether you're using Snapchat or Instagram stories, what you think of the differences between the two, where you're likely to spend your time. Please do get in touch. I'd love to hear from you. You can email me, martine@martineellis.com, or chat to me on social media. All of my links are available at martineellis.com. Obviously, my preference right now is that you send me a little response to one of my Instagram stories. You can follow me. I'm Martineeellis. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you'll join me next week.